Hi, everyone, and welcome to Building a LinkedIn Profile with Avis Budget Group. I am excited to be here. My name is Alicia Cheney. I am the manager of campus recruitment at Avis Budget Group. And so I am all things early in career, and I'm excited to be here today to talk about building your LinkedIn profile. I will, throughout the presentation, make a couple of announcements about some fun things happening at Avis Budget Group and how you can get involved yourself and apply to opportunities we have. So I'm going to go ahead and get it kicked off here. So why get a LinkedIn? So the most important piece here is networking. I like to think LinkedIn is the professional profile to Facebook, right? You get on Facebook because you want to see what your friends are up to, your family is up to, look at pictures. Well, LinkedIn is the professional piece of that, I like to think, where you have an opportunity to network with other professionals, see what's happening in their organization, and possible opportunities for you to join their organization. Another piece of it is LinkedIn is an opportunity for you to build great relationships with recruiters like myself. So I am always on LinkedIn looking for candidates for our open early in career opportunities. And what better way to do that by getting on LinkedIn and searching for some candidates? I would like to say that LinkedIn has, it's been around for a while. And surprisingly, a lot of students don't interact with LinkedIn. It could be because it does take a little bit of time to set it up and get it just right. I mean, for me, it took me a couple of weeks to get mine exactly how I would like it to be when I'm seeking talent, or if talent is looking for more talent like myself. So it's a really great place for you to search for internships, jobs, even webinars like this opportunity today. It was posted and shared out to other students. So an opportunity for you to come and learn as well. And then it's also a really great way to transfer information. As my mom used to say, meet me in the DMs. So LinkedIn is a really great opportunity for you to message recruiters, hiring managers, even your professors. It's a really great way to stay in touch, build relationships, share contact information, learn about another organization and their opportunities. Now, this is my favorite part. I love to coordinate and put things together. So building my LinkedIn was actually very fun. So I like to tell people the first thing you should do is pick out a really great headshot of yourself. You want to make sure that you're capturing the essence of who you are in that picture. It's usually the first thing recruiters look at when visiting your LinkedIn page. So you really want to take the time to pick a picture, of course, that you like, but also one that shows your personality just a little bit. So I usually tell people it needs to be a close headshot. So usually I tell people neck up or shoulder up, where your picture is able to be on LinkedIn. Another piece of this is your headline should be there. So whether you're a web developer at JobScan, or a full stacker engineer, front end specialist, you would need to put that in your headline. So for example, my LinkedIn has a wonderful headshot picture I took. And then in my headline, you can see my title there and what organization I work for. So it's a really great way for you to kind of share a little bit about yourself, but in a short, sweet, simple way. Join groups. I think this one is extremely important. When I first joined LinkedIn, I joined my organization's LinkedIn. So for you all, I think you should add UNT Dallas Career Services. That one is going to be extremely important because your university is always posting about opportunities for you to develop yourself or learn more about other organizations. I would also say if you're in a sorority or a fraternity, you should add them on LinkedIn as well. You're able to share different information out to your network. So that's another great opportunity to connect with others, right? If you join your fraternity or sorority's page and then you're sharing information, you never know, a recruiter may reach out because you guys are a part of either the same fraternity or sorority and they're interested in learning more about you and maybe what your career path could be. I would also say industries or professional associations is another great group to join on LinkedIn. I mean, I've joined a ton of groups that is on LinkedIn, but I also think it's important when you're networking, right? If you were at an event or you went to a career fair, whatever the networking event is, it's a great opportunity for you to say, hey, are you on LinkedIn? And if so, let's connect right now so that we can build our relationship outside of this setting that we're currently in. So I encourage you all to, if you have a LinkedIn, you should look at your network. See, have you joined UNT Dallas Career Services? See if you have joined your sorority or fraternity network on LinkedIn. And if not, do it today. So I think all of those are phenomenal suggestions there when it comes to groups. I also think you should join groups that aligns with your field of study. So for example, I was a communications major. I minored in public relations. So I joined, like the Public Relations Association of Alabama. I joined different PR groups so that I could have a network of folks that are very like-minded. And it also connected me to other networks that I didn't even know existed because I was able to connect with people in the PR association. And when they share something, I'm able to see new networks. So I encourage you to continue to build your network and join as many groups as possible. Then you're able to reach many, many people from all over the world, really. Adding to your profile. So this is another favorite piece of mine. I'll plug my LinkedIn right now, which is Alicia S. Cheney. If you happen to visit my LinkedIn, you'll see that I have a summary there as well. And this is your elevator pitch. This is where you shine. This is where you should talk about some things that you've accomplished, your background, what you're interested in. It's a really great way to draw people in. And so I would encourage you to take some time and think about how you want folks to see you and see your experiences and take some time to write that out. Now, mine is a little bit longer than 4 to 5 sentences, but I would encourage you all to make sure it's about 4, to 8 sentences of really great information about your experience, whether that's academic or an internship you've had or accomplishment that you have had. I would also encourage you to add all relevant education history. So on my LinkedIn, for example, I've added, that I attended Midfield High School, that I went on to college at Alabama State University, and then I pursued a human resource certification at SNHU. So it's very important that your LinkedIn almost is a journey. It's an opportunity for a recruiter or even a professor or your network to be able to click on there and really follow your journey as a professional. So I would encourage you to make sure you're listing all of your education history there. And then if you have work history as well, internships, you should put on there. If you are employed, you should put that on there as well. I think it's important to also note that don't just put, I work at Avis Budget Group, right? And put the year you started. I think it's important to also put your responsibilities. What are you doing at Avis Budget Group? What role, the title, responsibilities? That gives the recruiter and other folks that are looking at your LinkedIn to know, oh, wow, they have, web developer experience. They have broadcasting experience. So it gives more insight. I like to tell people your LinkedIn is almost your virtual resume. So whatever is on your resume, I would literally copy and paste into the work history. Be sure to double, triple check for grammar issues, if I could speak today. I think that is important for not just you, right, to feel comfortable about your profile, but the recruiter will be looking at this. So if they are seeing grammar issues, you want to make sure, that they don't see those type of things because it may hinder you from getting the opportunity. So double, triple check for any grammar issues, or if you see like, oh, I didn't capitalize the first letter in my name, you want to make sure you do that as well. So I tell people to check that all the time. I would say consider asking employers for references that you can add to your profile. That is like the whipped cream and cherry on top of the sundae, right? Is that you have someone that can back you up and talk about how brilliant you are. I think it's important too. You can ask for employers or peers of you to endorse you on LinkedIn. So that's more of the simpler route there. If you don't want someone to have to type up something fully, they can endorse you on your LinkedIn and say that you're a great communicator, or you serve others well, or you have project management skills. So that is great as well. One of my favorite pieces here, which students sometimes think is not important, is volunteering. Putting that on your LinkedIn profile. It is extremely important to serve and to give back to your community. A lot of organizations are centered around that. It's built into their values, their mission, their motto. It's the essence of their organization. So I think it's important to talk about any volunteer experience you've had. If you have worked at the Boys and Girls Club, or you have your own way of giving back, being able to document that and put that on your LinkedIn, I believe will set you apart from others. It also, again, will help you with connections, right? If I volunteered at the Boys and Girls Club and you put that on your LinkedIn, you most likely will come up in my need to know people, which LinkedIn does that for you. So I would definitely say, think about all of the volunteer opportunities you've had, be able to list them on your LinkedIn, and that'll allow you to be able to connect with others as well. I would say putting your contact information there is top priority, right? Because if I look at your LinkedIn page, I want to be able to see that at least your email is there. So I'm able to possibly send you a link to phone screen with us, or maybe I want to schedule a call to get to know you more. So I would definitely say put your email, put your telephone number there if you feel comfortable. And then make sure your profile is public so that a recruiter can message you if they are interested in you. Because what I find is some students have their LinkedIn profile private. And if it's private, then I can't message them. And it makes it a little difficult for me to get in contact with a potential candidate. So make sure you're checking those settings as well on your profile. Adding connections, it's easier than you think, and it truly is. Adding your friends, family, colleagues, professors, classmates is a great way to start building your network. I think it's important to think about the quality before the quantity of the network that you're building on LinkedIn. You want to connect with people who are possibly in similar industries as you, or studying in the field that you are. And that will allow you to be exposed to their network. You also can send invites on LinkedIn. So you can request someone as a friend, but you also can write a short message. So a lot of times students will request me as a friend, but they'll send me a really nice note like, hey, I see that you're a recruiter at Avis Budget Group and you have a ton of opportunities there. I would love to connect with you so that I can see what those opportunities are and continue to learn about Avis Budget Group. So you can always put that in a message form, or simply just say thank you, or that you appreciate that we've made this connection. So don't forget, adding your friends, family, colleagues, professors is a great way to build your network and also connect you to others. And quality over quantity is important as well. Use a short but personalized message. So I talked about this just now, of really being able to present yourself in a way where you're eager to learn, or you're eager to have an opportunity. I think this is a nice personalized message here. And it says, add why you want to connect. It was nice meeting you in Dr. Sosa's class today. Explain how you know each other or what you have in common. I think is important too. That Alicia Cheney mentioned that we should get connected and stay in touch so I could learn more about Avis Budget Group's opportunities. That allows automatic connection, right? If I get a message that says a colleague of mine mentioned me and that I should get to know you, I'm more likely to respond to this message because I know that my colleague is very credible. I think it's important too, to lean in even more and ask questions, right? If you send a message and they just respond, thank you, respond with, hey, do you mind chatting for 15 to 20 minutes about opportunities that you have at your organization, or just to simply learn about the organization. So I would say definitely lean in if they're engaging with you via messages. And then at some point, you can switch to email or phone, whichever you are comfortable with. And I want to pause because I want to make sure I also answer questions. So if you have any questions about LinkedIn, don't hesitate to put them in the chat. I'm monitoring that while I'm presenting as well. So I'm all ears for any questions, whether it's LinkedIn, resume building, interview tips. I'm happy to answer any questions here. I do want to pause and plug some opportunities at Avis Budget Group. For early in career folks, we are offering internship opportunities for juniors and seniors in our field, which is our airport locations, but we're also offering opportunities in our corporate program as well. So I will drop our career site in the chat as soon as I have a chance, but don't forget to apply if you are interested. And talking about jobs, you can also search jobs on LinkedIn. You can also utilize the settings to tweak the exact job that you're looking for. So, for example, you can research employers. So, you could go in and put in Avis Budget Group. You could put in, you know, Chick-fil-A if you wanted to. You could go in and put in your university there as well. And you'll be able to see open positions at those different organizations there. And then another piece of this is you can get it down to exactly what you're looking for. So, for example, if I was on LinkedIn and I was researching Avis Budget Group and I wanted to look for opportunities in the human resource space, specifically talent acquisition, I could set my settings up in a way that it shows me all the positions open at that particular organization in talent acquisition. And I think that cuts out a lot of the hassle when you're looking for opportunities. Instead of seeing like a VP of HR positioning your recent graduate, that would be a little discouraging. Like, oh, I don't meet that just yet in my career. But if you're automatically getting opportunities that align with what you're looking for, it's easy for you to apply right away. Another piece is you are able to apply via LinkedIn. So let's say you search Avis Budget Group, you saw a talent acquisition specialist role, and you clicked on that role within Avis Budget Group. There will be a button for you to hit apply and apply directly from LinkedIn. And you can choose to share your profile on LinkedIn, or you could choose to upload your resume. So I think it's important to also know that on LinkedIn, they have webinars as well as courses. So I just recently took like a DEI course where I was able to take a deep dive into diversity, equity, and inclusion. I took a course on Word where I was able to show that like I'm a master at Word, that I'm an expert at it. and it being able to be added to my LinkedIn profile. So that's a really cool way to set your profile up, so that when recruiters or folks are looking at your profile, they know right away, like, oh, this person is skilled in Microsoft Office. They've taken webinars on diversity, equity, and inclusion. So really great way to keep your profile updated, and presentable for recruiters as well. Preparing for interviews, and researching companies. Oh my gosh, this is one of my favorite things, right? Because I'm a recruiter and I absolutely love when candidates can tell me something about Avis Budget Group. So it's important to research the company. I always tell candidates, know at least 3 facts about the organization, whether you know how many employees work there, when it was founded, what their purpose is. It's important for you to do that research because you just really don't know what will be asked of you in the interview. Another piece is being able to be aware of the culture by visiting the website or by utilizing LinkedIn to learn more about the organization. I think it's important too for you to have questions in your interview. Don't hesitate to ask, hey, what is your culture? How do you serve your employees? What is the mission? What is the values? Because that show that you are interested and you want to be a part of the organization. So here it does talk about statistics about the company and its employees. I talked about that briefly. I love when people can come to an interview and say, oh, I know that Avis Budget Groups gets this much in revenue and they have this many employees and you guys have this many locations. It shows me that this person not only was prepared for the interview, but they did their research and they're engaged and they want this opportunity. And then it gets me excited about it. And then I remember that candidate. It's kind of hard to forget a candidate that knows about the company, has done the work, done the research, and showed up prepared. Things to remember. Make sure your profile is completed to 100%. Now, I think this is a very important because sometimes I'll visit a student's page and there's no picture. They haven't added their education there. And it's kind of hard for me to recommend them or reach out to them for a position because I just don't have enough information to do so. So I think it's important for you to review your profile. Make sure your name is spelled correctly. Even if you don't have a title, right? You can put a motivated student at UNT Dallas. Get really creative with your profile that allows other people to say, hey, I want to get to know this person better. Constantly try to make new connections and cultivate the ones that you have. Believe it or not, I probably spend 2 to 3 hours a day on LinkedIn. I laugh now to myself because I remember like I was on LinkedIn, hanging out with one of my friends, and she was like, you're on LinkedIn right now, like it's Facebook. And I was like, you have to be on LinkedIn. Like it is important for me to make connections. I need to know what's happening in my network. I need to be aware of opportunities that's happening. So I think it's important for you to carve out some time to build those connections, to seek, knowledge from your network because they should be sharing articles, pictures, there on your timeline. So I think it's important to carve out some time and check out what's happening on LinkedIn and on your news feed. Connect to alumni that are in your field of interest. So we talked about this a little bit earlier, the importance of joining those groups. So make sure, again, you're connected with UNT Dallas Career Services. I'm sure once you connect with the career services, you'll also see who they are connected with. I would go ahead and click the add button or the follow button there, because automatically that's an opportunity for you to build your news feed and know what's happening within, or on campus at your university. Stay on top of current trends and events. I think that isn't important, top important. Like today I got on LinkedIn and I was able to like learn what's happening in our HR space because I saw Sherm post some news articles there. So I was able to kind of quickly read, catch up what's happening in the HR space, and then get back to work. So it's important, to follow folks that will update you on things that's maybe happening in information technology, marketing, business overall, consumer insights, just so you're in the know and you're knowledgeable. So you just never know. In an interview, they may ask you, hey, what was the last article that you had the time to read? You'll be able to say, oh, I was scrolling on LinkedIn, building my network, and I happened to read about XYZ. So I think it's important to make sure you're leaning in on building those connections, leaning in on building alumni connections, and then following up on those current trends and events that are happening in your newsfeed. Reach out to people. Don't be afraid to message someone, right? If you see an opportunity, even if you see someone post an article, that's a really great way to start a conversation. Even if you're seeking a job opportunity. So if I got on LinkedIn and I posted about Avis Budget Group, but you really wanted to talk to me about a job, you could easily message me and say like, hey, I saw you post about Avis Budget Group and all they're doing with Zipcar and Payless. That's really awesome. I would learn to love more about opportunities you have. Then that gets me excited. I'm like, wow, this person read the article. They're interested in opportunities. Let me schedule some time with them. So I think it's important too to reach out to people that's within the industry that you're interested in, have those engaging conversations. And then research when looking for opportunities. I like to think, when candidates are in the process of interviewing, phone screening, that this is about you all. You want to make sure you're joining an organization that aligns with your values, what you believe in, that you're going to have an impact. And for you to know that, you have to do the research. You have to ask the tough questions. I love when I get candidates that ask me, like, what are you guys' DEI efforts? I'm like, oh, wow, let me tell you. What is the culture like? How will I be supported if I join your organization? I think all of those are phenomenal questions, but you don't ask those questions if you don't do the research. If you don't understand the organization and what it does and its purpose, then you tend to not ask those very important questions. And now, congratulations, you have made your LinkedIn profile. So I do want to point out a couple of things here, again, that is super important when it comes to your LinkedIn profile. Making sure your name is spelled correctly, picking a really awesome picture to have on your LinkedIn profile, taking some time, either carve out some time to take some with your iPhone or get some professional headshots done. That's usually what I do twice a year. And get a really nice picture and get that posted. Another piece is that opening elevator speech, right? That you can put on your LinkedIn. Get very creative with that. Because that really draws recruiters in, like myself. When I can see, like, you know, I am a student at UNT Dallas. I'm in the information technology space. I've, gained this award, or I was involved this way on campus. It gets me excited because now I know, like, oh, this person may align with this opportunity I have at my organization. So take some time to really write out about 4 to 5 sentences there of your experience and your accomplishments there in that portion. Another piece is making sure you put your work history there. Identify the internships you've done or work. I like to tell people, even if you've worked at the Dollar Tree, right? I worked at the Dollar Tree in college, and I found a way to show that I had impact, that I was able to work with diverse people. I can talk to almost anyone. I know how to multitask. Those things matter when you're applying to internships and full-time opportunities. So put all of your work experience there. Another piece is volunteering, your volunteering experience. Make sure that's there. The cool thing about LinkedIn and what they're doing now is usually when you put the Boys and Girls Clubs there, the nice icon comes up. So it's not like just a blank square there. It'll show the Boys and Girls logo. And then you can talk a little bit about what you did there under your volunteer experience. You also can put your accomplishments on there. So if you won some awards associated with your academics, you're able to put that on there in a brief description of why you won that award. And then as you go down your LinkedIn page, you're able to put your contact information. So I talked about ensuring your email is there, ensuring your telephone number is there if you're comfortable. And then if you have any other, I know students are getting into the virtual portfolios, the virtual resumes. So if you have a link to a website or a virtual portfolio, that's the perfect place to put it. If you have a business of your own, that's a perfect place to put it at the bottom of your LinkedIn in that contact information area. Endorsements and getting employees or colleagues or peers of yours to write about you and how phenomenal you are. That's important as well. It's easy to get endorsements when you're creating your profile. You can add some things you're really good at. You may be great at public speaking. You may be good at technology, Microsoft Office, customer service. You can add all of those things, and then your network can endorse you. So that goes back to building your network is important because they can interact with your page and really impact how it looks to others. So make sure, you're building that network, but you're also utilizing the network and getting them to, make your page look even better as you build it out over time. So I do want to read a couple of things off here that's super important, which is socials. All of the socials are here: Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, which is important. Again, I'm plugging UNT Dallas Career Services. Add them on LinkedIn now. It's important. Arthur is always posting amazing opportunities that's happening for students to get engaged, get involved, learn about other organizations. So I encourage you to add UNT Dallas Career Services on LinkedIn. I'm going to plug myself and I'm going to put it here in the chat. You can add me on LinkedIn, which is a really great opportunity because I'm always posting about early in career opportunities, whether that's internships or recent grad opportunities with Avis Budget Group. And then here you can see the phone number, office hours are here, in the website for career services. I encourage you to schedule an appointment. It is important. I loved career services when I was in college. I went there with my resume a lot of times to get feedback, ask those questions you feel embarrassed to ask others. So definitely schedule some time with career services. And I'm also going to plug ABG's career site in the chat. And then I am a talker, you guys. I told you I went to school for communications, minored in public relations. I will talk all day. So if you have any questions, feel free putting them in the chat. I'm happy to answer any questions around resume building, interview tips, LinkedIn, all things career. I'm happy to answer any questions around that. And last but not least, thank you, UNT Dallas, specifically Arthur, for thinking of me, for having me here today. I have a ton of fun doing these type of events. So thank you for this opportunity.
No worries, anytime. Hopefully we can have you back in this spring semester.
Yes, I'll be back. I'm coming back for sure.
And hopefully on campus if we can make that happen too.
Yes, I would love to come in. I'm not too far away. I'm here in Forney, so it wouldn't be
Mhm.
a long drive at all. I could pack up some goodies and bring them out to the students and meet you all in person. I would love to do that.
Oh,
Do you
I think
think a resume should have an objective? Yes, I do. Right? It's the sentences that kind of are corny. I call them corny a little bit because you're talking about yourself, but I think it definitely should, right? I think objectives allows the recruiter to know who you are, what expectations are, what you're seeking, what you're passionate about. So I think you should find a creative way to do it so it doesn't sound like your regular generic one, right? Where you're like, I am a passionate human resource professional looking for. I think you should get creative about how you talk about what you're seeking, what you're looking for, in a couple of sentences there on your resume. Any other questions at all?
I'm checking
You're
Facebook.
welcome. Happy
We're
to
good.
help. Good, good. Happy to help. And then again, I know a pandemic, a lot of things are virtual. How do I prepare for that, Alicia? I'm used to going in person. Now I'm home. I encourage people, dress professional, stomach up. Make sure your lighting is good. Make sure your Wi-Fi connection is good. Make sure you have a pen, notepad. You can take notes. And I usually tell people to open up and say, hey, you may catch me looking away or looking down, but that's simply because I'm taking notes and I'm engaged and I want to learn today. So those are some of my tips for interviewing virtually. I know that's top of mind for candidates right now because we haven't really been face to face for interviews in a good while. And arrive early. Virtual interviews, if you can log in 5 to 10 minutes early, do that. Extremely important. My last name is Chaney, so Chaney. Any other questions for me at all? Don't be nervous. I'm one of I tell people all the time I'm a laid back recruiter. I've gotten all kinds of questions.
Hello, yes, I have a question.
Yes.
Hello, my name is Luis Mata. I'm currently a junior, majoring in general business and minoring in Spanish here at UNT Dallas. And my question to you would be in regards to LinkedIn on the about section. I've heard some recruiters say that, keep it short and simple. And then some of them have said, oh, no, you should put as much information about you. So what
Mhm.
is your recommendation in regards to the about section on your LinkedIn profile? What do you recommend we should put or we shouldn't put on the about section?
Yes, for me, I think it's the best of both worlds, right? You don't want to be too short, sweet, and simple, and then you also don't want to be long-winded. I think it's finding the right balance. I also think it's about what you talk about, right? If you're just simply babbling, as I call it, in your about section, then of course, don't make it long. But if you're talking about phenomenal things like, your skills, your talent, you spoke briefly about your minoring in Spanish, like those are things that you should talk about that would, I want to read more, right? But if you're in the first three or two sentences, you're not really talking about anything, then I can see, okay, babbling on might not be best. But if you're going to talk about, I am a rising junior minoring in Spanish. Here's what minoring in Spanish has, gotten me, taught me. Here's what I've been able to explore. Then, of course, I want to read more. I probably want to read the whole book. But if you're starting off and it's just, I'm a junior, I go to UNT Dallas, and that's it, then it's like, oh, that's not as good. I think you have to figure out a creative way to draw people in, and then you can possibly get a little lengthy. I tell people, start off with maybe a possible favorite quote of yours. You could start off, I tell people to do storytelling a little bit if you wanted to. I've seen that before. And then accomplishments, right? A lot of people have a hard time talking about things they've achieved, but I think it's important to put that there. If you've gotten the honor roll all 3 years of college, that's something that should probably be in your about, right? Is that I'm a committed, passionate student. I've made the honor roll my 3 years of college, which was rigorous, but I made it. I think those things matter in putting that in your about. I do think don't go long if it's going to be boring. If it's going to be fun and informative, you can go a little long there. And I hope that answered your question.
Yes, ma'am, it did. Thank you.
You're welcome. Any other questions for me?
Oh, I added your LinkedIn URL in the chat for
Thank you,
everyone.
because I couldn't grab it fast enough. I have like 18 tabs up right now for work. So I would have accidentally sent like a rec number and you guys would have been like, this is not your LinkedIn, Alicia.
I'm gonna add it one more time, and I'm also gonna add our survey one more time, 'cause we would appreciate
perfect.
everyone's feedback.
Yes, and I'll plug here too, since we have some time, and I can take a little deep dive here. Avis Budget Group, if many don't know, is offering a ton of opportunities for early in career folks, specifically in our field. So right now we have a operations manager intern position that will be at our high demand areas. Dallas is one of those areas. And we'll be offering opportunities to interns, juniors, and seniors, but we'll also be offering opportunities to folks that are recent grads looking for full-time employment. Both of these opportunities offer a chance for really great development. You have an opportunity to come in and learn the ins and out of the business, but you're also going to gain some really great leadership skills in this position. And I know you hear it all the time, fast pace, but this is really a fast paced position. No one day will look the same. You'll have an opportunity to really get to know our consumers, get to know the business, our fleet, how operations work at a field location. So it's a fun role, but it is very fast paced. You're going to be on a track where you're going to be developed and trained and supported in this particular position. So right now you can go to the careers link and you can apply to the internship opportunity. The full-time opportunity hasn't been posted yet. It'll probably be posted top of December. But you can go out and apply to the operations manager internship opportunity, which is a really great opportunity to develop yourself if you're interested in like business or hospitality, or if you just simply like working with others and building relationships. This is a great role to do that, because you do get to meet customers every day. You'll have a team. You'll be a part of the day-to-day operations in this role. So a really great opportunity to join Avis Budget Group. Fun fact, our CEO started out as the operations manager, and now he's the CEO of our organization. So a real huge development opportunity.
That's right. We want Avis to be a first destination of choice for our students.
Yes, yes. Come work for Avis Budget Group. And then if you work in the Dallas location, you'll get to see me. I go out there often to switch out my company car, and I spend probably more time there talking to our operations managers than I do at my home. But I think it's important for me to understand the job and how I can share it with students. And I truly believe it's an opportunity to develop yourself. And Who knows, couple years you'll be airport manager and then VP, and then you'll be on to bigger and better things. So I encourage you to go out, visit our career site. Ton of opportunities out there for early in career folks. If you have any questions, don't hesitate. Right, what we talked about in the LinkedIn presentation. Don't hesitate to reach out and say, hello, Alicia. I want to learn more. I have questions. Or snoop on my network and see who you can add. That is how you build your network, build your relationships, by doing just that. LinkedIn is a great place to be bold. So go ahead and be bold. Message me. Don't mind at all. I'm always responding to students via LinkedIn throughout the day. Any additional questions at all? You guys had some great questions today about the about section. Should it be short or long? Had some good ones. The objective question was a good one too. People always ask me, can my resume be more than one page? No, I'm not reading 2 pages. So make it one. The best way you can, make it 1 page. And if you make it 1 page, but there's so much more you want to share, I would do a cover letter. Most organizations accept a cover letter, but make sure that resume is 1 page. If you can get creative, depending on your field of study, do that. Like my resume has a pop of color, just because that's my personality. I'm very bubbly. I like color. So I try to put a little touch of it on my resume. So that's just a little plug there, is making sure that resume is 1 page. And don't make it 1 page by making the font 2. The font should be readable. I should be able to read your resume, but try to keep it at that 1 page mark. Any other questions for me about Avis Budget Group, about LinkedIn, resume tips, interview tips at all?
I think that we're good. I wanted to make sure to reiterate to the students that there is a LinkedIn handout in the chat that you can download as a takeaway. Also too, you have the ability to schedule an appointment in Handshake and have one of our team members, Jackie or Bailey, to review your LinkedIn profile to help take it to the next level. So please feel free. We are here to help you guys take it to the next level.
Yes, that's what I like. Take it to the next level.
Absolutely. Well, I want to be mindful of time. We want to thank everybody for tuning in this evening. And if you have any questions, please feel free to follow up. You can email us or call us or even DM us on any of our various social media platforms. We look forward to hopefully seeing all of you guys again. And Alicia, we hope we see you very, 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 very soon. And we hope that you have a great holiday season.
Yes, I hope everyone has a great holiday season. Again, as Arthur said, schedule some time with career services. They are there to support you, guide you, uplift you, and help you get to the next level. Don't hesitate to reach out to me if you thought of a question but don't want to ask it in this very public space. I'm happy to answer any questions in my messages on LinkedIn. I wish everyone a happy holiday, and thank you, thank you, thank you so much for thinking of me for this event.
No worries, got you covered. We'll be seeing you soon.
All righty. Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.